What kind of guild are we talking?
Well, you know what? You're right. You're right. Let's not be super aggressive towards the guild.
Don't come over here and be guildist.
Welcome back to another episode of Going For It. You may notice this panel looks way smarter than our panels normally look. That's because we have replaced Craig Brooks with Mike Spillane, and that just means it's going to be a good time for everybody.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we are going to start our show as we always do, when I remember, and give some props to our victor from last week. The OG Sourpuss back on top again. 8 correct picks, followed closely behind by Mike Spillane with a 7, and then Craig Brooks and myself tying, picking up the rear at a solid 5. That was enough to knock me out of first place. I am 1 pick behind Mike. Mike, due to missing a week and like Thanksgiving games, pretty much is also not super close, but sizably ahead of Craig. And which
Yes.
really, like, the goal is to not be caught. I think is really the goal for any of us, is like, don't let him back into it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You took a week off and you're still beating Craig by 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Craig's played every week.
When I came back, I was like, I'm behind. I need to get saucy. So I lost games because of the fact that I was like, maybe I'll go ahead and pick some upsets. And there was no chance of there being upsets. Like,
yeah, this season's been weird. But anyway, we're going to get started. It is Thursday night. We normally record on Wednesdays. That didn't happen this week. We had some conflict. So we are recording whilst the Thursday night football game is happening. And
to be fair, that game's over.
That game was over in the first quarter.
Yep.
The second quarter just started, and that game is over.
And I made a last-minute fantasy football lineup decision against you that is now haunting me. So,
ooh,
what did you do?
The Chargers are supposed to have some decent members of their defense.
No,
apparently,
no,
not today.
Oh no!
So if this kills me, go win that meager prize, because it's a very cheap money league that we're in.
You know what? I have Austin Eckler going, and I don't have a lot of confidence. So
I'm technically still beating you because Austin Eckler is a shell of himself.
He's poopy doopy, is what he is. I can't. The Christian McCaffrey season will haunt me for the rest of my days. Anyway,
yeah, and it should.
It should. And
no offense, like, I'm not trying to be a dick. It should.
No, but it should, and it does. We are going to get started. I went Raiders. It looks like everyone else went Raiders. I think to pick the Chargers here, which 22.79% of people did, you're a dummy. Like, Vegas, not the best team, but like Chargers sans Justin Herbert, terrible. Awful.
They probably didn't know that Herbert was out.
Fair. It's fair.
Still.
But I knew that Herbert was out, and I knew that his backup was a hockey stick.
Easton Stick. You're in the wrong sport, my guy. You're in the wrong sport. Anyway, moving on.
Easton's legitimately a hockey brand.
It is. It's actually a hockey brand.
They
That's
make
correct.
sticks.
I have an Easton Stick downstairs in the garage. I have an Easton Synergy lime green downstairs in the garage. Minnesota at Cincy. I took Cincy here. We're going to try and burn through these picks a little faster because I have a fun game planned for this episode. I took Cincy here. Jake Browning looks like he's this year's Matt Flynn. I think he's going to get paid a little bit this offseason to go be a competitive starter, backup kind of guy. The new Garrett Minshew or Gardner Minshew, I think is what he is lining himself up to be. Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this game?
I'm taking Cincinnati, and I just want to lodge my protest that all of these teams have their guys knocked out, and they get quarterbacks like Jake Browning to come in, and I'm stuck with Mitchell Trubisky. Like, what happened? What is happening?
You guys made him a priority signing too.
You could have had a little bit of Tommy Cutlets, but instead you got Mitchie.
You know what? I'm glad. Because just seeing the silent reactions of the fans in the Giant Stadium doing the Italian, I don't want any part of that. No, thank you.
I got feelings about it.
I was going to say, I'm the most conflicted person. What was that?
Mike, explain your go, my friend.
So you guys aren't on the Nick Mullins train? Nick Mullins taking over for Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs,
Mullins.
he's going to be third string. It's going to be Nick Mullins, Jaron Hall, and then Josh Dobbs. Yeah, no, give me Jake Browning. That dude's legit. He's going to get paid stupid money and then be a failure later on in his career like Matt Flynn. You're 100% right.
Super stoked for that. Moving right along.
I can't call him a failure, though, because he's going to make so much more money.
So much money. Pittsburgh Steelers at Indianapolis Colts. Mike Thomas, I'm throwing it to you to make your Colts pick.
Yeah, I'm just taking the Colts. No surprise here. If anybody takes Pittsburgh to win this game, you are reaching. They're going to win by 30.
Mike Spillane.
Then call me Stretch Armstrong, motherfucker, because I'm taking No, dude, something's going to click at some point, it's got to happen, right? Why not against a Colts team that's just kind of aggressively mid? You guys are just going to have a mid off. No one's going to win this game by 30. Are you kidding me? You guys are bad and bad adjacent.
There's not going to be 30 points put up in the game. How's someone going to win by 30? With
Gardner
that being
Minshew,
said,
30 fantasy points.
I'm taking the Colts. Give me the fucking Colts here. I want nothing to do with the Steelers team right now. They are imploding, and maybe we get to talk about that as well in this fun little game.
They're like the worst good team.
Yeah, that's true. Broncos, who are now in the hunt in the AFC West, versus the Lions. Mike Spillane, who you taking in this game?
This is a tough one, just because the Broncos are on like a Sean Payton fuck you level tear. Like, because he talked a lot of shit. They started really bad, and he's finally backed it up because now they're good. But, dude, I like the Lions, man. They're a fun team. They're playing at home in prime time on a Saturday.
These are Saturday games. Get those fantasy lineups set.
Yeah, especially if you're in the playoffs. If you've already been eliminated, then
it doesn't matter.
Sucks for you, dude.
Or if you're playing against me. Don't say that.
I like the Lions. Jared Goff needs a rebound game. I think this is it.
Mike Thomas.
Jared Goff does need a rebound game because he's been terrible for the last month, but I will tell you it's not going to happen here. So I'm going to take Denver. The reason is Jared Goff is on my fantasy team. I should have had a bye this week, but Craig stole it from me. So Goff is going to go out, lay another egg, and then blow it up for the next 2 weeks after that when I'm out of the playoffs and crying in my milk.
Well, I didn't know any of that before I made my pick, but now it makes me feel so much better that I'm taking the Broncos.
Yeah.
We're just gonna put it in the hands of Mr. Unlimited and go and see how far it goes.
He just having another sneer, baby, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Another one. They just keep popping babies out. It's wild.
Him and Sierra, just unlimited babies, Mr. Unlimited Babies.
Unlimited babies. And as Craig likes to bring up, I did DJ for them while they were at an Andretti's in Orlando for the Pro Bowl. Moving right along, Chicago at Cleveland. I'll go first here. I took the Bears. I think they are hitting a little bit of their stride. I think I got a little Mike Thomas earworm, and he was like, the Browns defense isn't as good as they think it is. And I was like, Justin Fields kind of a handful, maybe making people think about Caleb Williams a little differently. I like the Bears here. Give me the Bears. I'm excited about this. Mike, explain who you got.
I am following in your footsteps. I also got the Bears. Obviously, Joe Flacco had a really good game. They gave him a contract. He's official on the team now. Good for him. He's always seemed like a good guy in the NFL. But age is age is a friend to no man, and he's not gonna be perfect all the time like he was there. So I think this Bears team is like you said, they're turning the corner. They can be fun. So go be fun against the Browns because it's the Browns. So
Browns is the Browns, and I know what's happening here. But Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this game?
Oh, the Browns all the way, because this season is summarized by what is the most painful outcome for Mike Thomas, and that would be the Browns winning.
I watched a reel right before we jumped on, and it was a lot. It was one of those ones that's consistently being used as like a meme in the meme format, and it was all the players, and there was a dummy sitting here, or a bunch of dudes, and they all go up and they like punch the dummy, they elbow the dummy, and they all run by it, and the dummy was the Steelers, and it's all these teams, and then it or no, it's New England. I'm sorry. It's New England and all these teams punching it, elbowing it, punching it, kicking it, flying over it. And then it's the Steelers and the dummy like rolls back and smacks the guy in the face and he falls down. And I was like, yeah, that was Mike.
But I had no confidence going into that game.
You did not. You had very little confidence. You said so. I was even not confident, but I was like, they have the better defense. They got to win this game, right? They did not win that game. It was bad. It was bad. But alas, we move on. Tampa Bay at Green Bay. Green Bay is an enigma of proportions I cannot properly discuss in the time we're trying to do these picks. I don't understand. They gave the Giants every opportunity to win that game. They did. The Giants, I will stand by this. The Giants did not win that game. Green Bay lost that game. They had every opportunity to win, and they could not do it. And then Fat Randy. Fucking Fat Randy. Anyway, I still think they're a better team than the Bucs, and they're at home. Give me the Packers. Mike Thomas, who are you taking?
Green Bay, because they're at home, but damn it, I like picking them as much as I like picking Atlanta. I just don't like it.
You're not an Arthur Smith fan?
No.
But he had a mustache that one time, remember?
I'm pretty sure Arthur Smith's family's not an Arthur Smith fan. It's here, we got you all these rookie weapons that are like generational talents. Don't use them.
I don't want that.
He's like, nah,
give me more
Matt
Cordero Patterson. How do I get the most Cordero Patterson? Mike, explain who you're taking.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on this one. I like Jordan Love had probably one of the worst games of his career. Not like he was bad, like turnovers bad. Dude just could not throw an accurate pass to save his life against the Giants. And it was just like one of those things. Like watching it, it was painful to watch the Packers. They're gonna get it right though. I believe in them. Give me the Packers at home over the Bucs.
Moving right along, Houston at Tennessee. This game is close, and I don't think it would be. CJ Stroud's still not practicing. Again, it's Thursday night. Things can change Friday into Saturday. He's still in concussion protocol, but he's not even at practice, which is not a good sign. And if you're smart, which we don't know if the Texans are or not, but if you're smart, you give him all the time. You might lock him out for the rest of the season and just be like, homie, you've done enough. We get it. You're the Messiah. Come back next year and let's rip, but let's make sure your brain is healthy. I do not anticipate that being what happens. So I am going to go with the Tennessee Titans here just because I expect the Texans to fall apart under the tutelage of one Davis Mills. If he's even going to start, I think he's got to be the guy, but I have no high expectations for this. Give me the Titans. Mike, explain who you're taking.
Davis Mills is willing to stick his neck out for that team. I promise you that. All right.
He doesn't have a choice.
His neck's just there. Now, if CJ Stroud plays, it's the Texans all day. So I went with the Texans because I'm kind of anticipating that. But I will say that my picks are subject to change given late reports Sunday morning.
Mike Thomas, who are you taking?
I would also say my pick is subject to change if CJ Stroud plays, but I'm going to be honest with myself and know that I'm not going to check. So I'm just going to take Tennessee and stick with that here. Plus, this Houston defense made Zach Wilson look like a professional football player.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Maybe we get to talk about it in our fun surprise segment.
Nice.
Speaking of the next one.
Speaking of Zach Wilson, oh my God, what a setup. Mike Thomas, who are you taking in the Jets-Miami Dolphins game?
You know, Miami just doesn't want to win games and go to the playoffs as the home team.
They do not.
They just don't want it.
I'm
going to take them to win this game, but how embarrassing. I went to bed Monday night thinking they had that game in the bag. They did not.
Up 14 with 3 minutes to go.
Well, you put it like that, it's even worse.
God, like if that ain't a kick in the fucking beans, you know?
Yeah, that's why Craig's not here. He's still his beans are still recovering.
Yeah.
Mike's playing. Who you taking?
Gambag Yahtzee with him. Yeah, give me the Dolphins. I just don't. There's the Jets did a thing, and I'm happy for them because one of our good friends, is a Jets fan. I'm happy that he got a moment of bliss, and Zach Wilson was Offensive Player of the Week for the AFC. That's not gonna happen against the Dolphins. It's just not.
This is not gonna be a thing. I don't feel good about it. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a clean sweep and go Dolphins here. But honestly, this team could choke, and like they've shown they have the capacity to choke, which I hate to say because they're so fun to watch, and I've really been enjoying this in-season Hard Knocks. But they have choker written all over them, and I don't even know why. Like everything they do makes sense, and they run everything well, and it looks good, and it's just like they just fall apart at the worst part. I get like last year Chargers vibes from this team so hard, and like that's not good. Anyway, Chiefs at Patriots. Is this a must-win game for the Kansas City Chiefs? I think so. I think it is.
Yes.
It should be a must-dominate game for them. Like, they need that, like, big put-up 41 points performance.
Yeah, this is a step on their neck kind of game, I think.
They need that.
I'm not even going to ask who you guys are picking because, like, I assume we're all picking the Chiefs. But also, like, if they don't win this game, I am concerned about what happens in Kansas City.
Yeah, you'd be on the lookout if you're a ref and the Chiefs lose this game. Like,
Patty
Mahomes might get in your face.
Bombs just at you. Just nut shots.
Kadarius Toney watch. That's what it's going to be. Like, can he commit another penalty that costs his team? Because it seems like that's the only thing he's good at doing these days.
No, dude, he drops the ball super good, too. I don't know if you've seen
just
some
costing the team in general. Sometimes it's penalties. Sometimes it's other stuff.
He scores great touchdowns that don't count.
He does. He had one
impressive.
really
excellent game as a Giant, and everyone thought that he was going to be amazing. And then he's done fuck all since.
My fantasy team knows that well.
He is a gadget player. He is a gadget player through and through. And that is all he is. He was an overcorrection by Dave Gettleman because he didn't get the player he was targeting. So he panicked and grabbed a dude that he probably saw at the Senior Bowl and was like, I love him. Because that was the Dave Gettleman MO.
Let's be realistic for a second. Kadarius Toney wasn't at the Senior Bowl.
I think he was.
Was he? I don't know.
I think I saw tape of him run and it was like a comment on Twitter, like somebody quote tweeted it and was like, typical Kadarius Toney, and he like juked a dude out of his shoes. The quarterback throws it right in his hands. He turns around, he goes like this, and then he turns to run upfield, and the ball falls to the ground.
Okay, no, you're right.
And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, that is Kadarius Toney.
He can't hurt you anymore, Pat. It's okay.
He can't. I don't give a shit. I laugh at this guy all the time. Moving right along, Giants. The New York Giants versus the New Orleans Saints. Give me the Saints all day. I need the Saints to win this game. I'm officially jumping on the Derek Carr bandwagon. Please, Derek. Please. I'm explaining my fellow Giant fan, friend, brother. Who are you taking in this one?
Dude, I said earlier that like I'm just so conflicted because this, I feel like, is the most togetherness there's been in New York sports since Linsanity with the New York Knicks.
Oh, no.
I'm not wrong with this statement. You know that I'm not, because
you're not.
God, everyone in New York fucking fell in love with Jeremy Lin, and I feel like that's exactly what's happening with Tommy DeVito right now. And I think this is possibly the last winnable game on the schedule. I did pick the Giants as much as I would much rather us lose for a draft pick. The Saints team's just not fucking good. Like, they have a couple of pieces, but the Giants defense has been playing good football. I wouldn't say it's been good all around, but it's been very sound football. And if Tommy DeVito's agent's going to be there in New Orleans, then he's going to be calling everybody a bunch of stunads, and there's going to be a whole lot of cutlets and penne alla vodka. Okay, capiche.
This guy is just a caricature. He is just a caricature.
Apparently, he's been around, and he's been around the league for a long time. Like, he was, I don't remember who it was that I think it was a Rich Eisen show. He was talking about him. He's like, I've talked to this guy before. Like, you remember Alfred Morris? He was his agent.
Of course he was. Oh my God.
Man.
It's wild times right now. It's wild times, and we might get to talk about it in our special segment coming up here soon. We are burning through these games. Mike Thomas, who you taking? Giants, Saints?
I think the Giants go to 4 in a row.
Oh my God.
I think they win in New Orleans. They grab themselves a muffaletta and they get back on the plane and go back with a 3-game losing streak to end the season. But they're going to have a 4-game winning streak to hang their hat on.
And then Tommy DeVito's going to say a muffaletta.
A muffaletta.
A muffaletta? I can see it.
Get some
I can see it.
beignets.
I honestly, the funniest thing for me that Tommy DeVito's done, like, his family's a caricature. His agent is a massive caricature. He is like, it's like, oh my God. The funniest thing for me was him tweeting at Dua Lipa and was like, what's up? Like, if George Kittle's not going to do it, and it's like, you're going to bring Dua Lipa, international pop star, back to your mom's house, Tommy? You're gonna bring her back to mommy's place?
Every
Bubbles?
team.
That man right now in the New Jersey, Manhattan metro area is a superstar. If he calls up any
And
hotel
nowhere
and
else.
says, "This is Tommy DeVito, I need your biggest room tonight," they will give it to him.
I still don't know about that because he's still in New York City. So
It's true. That's fair.
I do think, I think I saw this on PFT. Every team needs a third string quarterback that is a complete caricature of
Yes.
their city.
I saw that on Twitter as well because it's too funny. Like, if there was one for Jacksonville, it would just be the most white trash,
Yeah.
blonde mullet with the shittiest handlebar mustache. It's basically it's going to be Hulk Hogan from the '80s, but just make him a modern quarterback.
No, I want that to be Jason from The Good Place.
Okay, fine. Then the Bucks get Terry.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God. I don't even know what to say about that. Atlanta at Carolina. There's no way the Panthers win this game, even though Arthur Smith is actively bad at being a head coach. The Falcons, on sheer talent alone, have to win this game. Mike Thomas, who are you taking?
You know I'm not picking Carolina to win the rest of the year.
I know
They're going to lose out.
You will get to hang your hat on being correct in selecting their only win this season.
No, I will be correctly predicting every game of theirs this season.
It's true. It's true.
So, Pat, question for you. How far away are you from their stadium?
The Panthers?
Yeah.
They're in Charlotte, so like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
I found tickets for their game as cheap as 45 cents if you're interested.
I'm not. I am not interested.
Legitimately saw that on Twitter like probably an hour before we started recording that tickets were as cheap as 45 cents for this game. Give me the birds.
Washington at Rams. Washington is so fun to watch, but they lose fucking always. So I'm going to take the Rams here. Mike Spillane, who you taking?
I'm also going with the Rams just because Commanders, like, you're right. They can be entertaining, and there is that like part of their product that's good. But dude, this team just the second that there's like a modicum of pressure, they just collapse.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're also going to be in line for a new head coach. I'm curious who they're going to pick up, but we'll talk about that in off-season stuff. Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this game?
I'm going to also take the Rams, but I don't feel good about the spread being 6.5 points in favor of the Rams. I don't feel good about that.
It's not a good number.
No, 6.5 is always weird.
It's a lot.
I
It
think
is
they're
a
giving
lot,
them
and Sam Howell's a
cross-country
gunslinger.
travel bump.
Yeah. Okay.
Sam Howell's a gunslinger, though. You can never he's all about that garbage time stuff. He wants garbage time stats all day. Niners at Arizona. Please have a good game, Kyler Murray. Mike's playing going to you first.
Please have a good game, Kyler Murray, against the 49ers defense.
Dude,
No.
I can dream, okay?
Give me the Niners. That's like the quickest
Thomas.
answer I could.
Uh-oh. Mike Thomas, you having technical difficulty?
I got a bunch of static in my headphones.
Yeah, I'm also having that. I don't know what's up with that.
That's why I don't wear headphones.
Yeah, Niners all
reason.
day.
I'm
all day
also
long.
taking the Niners, but I just want Kyler to not be terrible because Justin Herbert's dead to me. Dallas at Buffalo. He's not actually dead to me, but he's hurt for the season. I'm taking the boys here because I think the Bills are dead. I still think that. I don't care who they've beaten, what they've won. I think they're dead. So give me the Cowboys. Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this game?
The Cowboys have to come back down to earth at some point, right?
I mean, they will, but it's not time for the playoffs yet.
No. No, I feel like part of their collapse is they don't get to catch Philadelphia in the standings. So they still have to go on the road in the playoffs.
That would suck.
Oh. I'll take Dallas. I don't like it.
Explain.
So my bold prediction for the week is that Josh Allen is going to throw 3 interceptions, but he's also going to throw 5 or have 5 total touchdowns. So give me the Bills winning.
That is a very Josh Allen-like game.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
it
he's
is.
going to have 450 total yards. He's going to have 5 total touchdowns, but 3 picks.
One of them all the way back. Deron Bland.
Deron Bland, yeah.
Baltimore at Jacksonville. I would have been more excited for this game 3 weeks ago. This just feels like the Ravens are going to steamroll Jacksonville. I don't know how everyone else is feeling, but
Correct.
it feels like Baltimore is going to butt fuck Jacksonville.
Yeah, a little harsh, but yeah.
Yeah,
is what it is.
There's part of me that feels that Jacksonville can still win this game, but it's just, dude, let Trevor Lawrence get healthy. Just give him a week off, get that ankle right. It's a tough game going against Baltimore. Let him just get healthy. He's already a freak of nature for playing last week, but let the dude rest.
Philly at Seattle. Philly has not beat Seattle in 15 years.
What?
That's a stat I read today. I don't know if it's legitimate or not, but I read it. In Seattle, I think, was the stat. They haven't beat them in Seattle in 15 years. Regardless,
Smith.
Seattle, Philly, doesn't matter. I'm taking the Eagles. It's a better team. Seattle has... they've gone tits up. Is it me? I don't even know if it's me.
I don't know. It might be me.
Who cares?
I mean, I hear you
I don't
guys.
care.
This is good. I'm going the Eagles. So simple as that. I don't like them, but they're a better team.
Philadelphia 27, Seattle 18.
Okay, Philly clean sweep here. Eagles beat. I'm gonna look it up. Eagles beat Seattle in Seattle. That's not the Eagles winning. Fuck you, Google. Anyway, moving right along. We have a fun game plan for tonight. I sat down and I was like, because I thought we were gonna have the full group here. I thought we were gonna have a 4-man Riverside chat podcast type dealio. And as it turns out, Craig bailed because he hates us or something. I don't know.
He heard I was going to be back.
He didn't. He was afraid that you were going to shame him with your knowledge. And I wanted to do an around the horn like segment where I'm going to give these gentlemen points based on things that I say and things that they say, and I will deduct points if they say stuff that I don't like. Very Tony Reali. I like being in control of this. And we were able to get through all of our picks in 30 minutes, which is good. I didn't know that we could ever do that. So I'm kind of impressed. It's probably because Craig's not here. But anyway, we are going to start with, and I'm going to even do the muties. We're going to start with Mike Thomas.
Ooh.
Mike Thomas, you get the first topic. Pittsburgh Steelers need a new head coach. Yes, no, and why?
No, I do not need to become one of these organizations that changes out the head coach every 3 years. That is just dumb. There's a lot of things that Mike Tomlin isn't perfect at, but he is a really good head coach, and you're not going to improve. You're not likely to improve on what he's bringing to the situation. What we need is a new offensive staff. That whole side of the team needs to be gutted. Those coaches stink. Go find somebody that can come in and rebuild the offensive side from top to bottom and let Mike T focus on the defense, which is what he wants to do anyway. He is still the coach that most players in the league want to go play for. Let's stop trying to talk about this nonsense of kicking him out of there. People are stupid.
So real quick before I let Mike Spillane jump in, it's his staff though. You want to get a whole new offensive staff. He's gone to bat for these guys multiple times over the years, Matt Canada included. Isn't that a detriment when you're looking at something like this?
Sure. He's very loyal, but I still don't want to be one of these teams that has to go out finding a new head coach every 3 years because the person they brought in isn't very good. And always blaming the issues on the coaches. The teams that have stability at the front of the team with the head coach tend to be the ones that rise to the top.
Interesting. All right. We're going to mute Mike Thomas now. Mike Spillane, what you got?
So Mike Thomas definitely took some shots there, and he took shots at the Giants organization for when they forced Tom Coughlin out. And then after Tom Coughlin, we went to Ben McAdoo, to Pat Shurmur, to Joe Judge, 2.5 years roughly, maybe each. And it's been a shit show.
So you're trying to lose points, Mike. What are you doing to me right now?
I'm stating facts on the fact of he took the direct shot. I'm pointing out his direct shot. I'm just verbalizing it. So if anything, it points off of him. No, you don't get rid of Mike Tomlin right now. Tomlin is if you look up a player's coach in the dictionary, it's a picture of Mike Tomlin. He's a guy that, like Mike said, players want to play for. He definitely has done some things wrong when it comes to his loyalty to his offensive staff. This is what needs to be that front office's kick in the tail to him to be like, dude, you need to realize when things aren't working faster to try and get us to correct them. And he's right. And I hate to just kind of echo his point here. But you should not move on from a Mike Tomlin because you may not find another Mike Tomlin again. It's all about getting the offensive staff right, and they got to go big when it comes to doing that.
All right. Well, I'm going to throw the second topic to you. Zach Wilson, is he Cinderella or is he a pumpkin?
He's a pumpkin, man. He's one of those ones of he's an overhyped pro day that just went way too far. In my opinion, like you look at, like, I remember during his pro day when he's throwing in shorts and a t-shirt and he's doing like this crossbody throw where he's throwing it 60 yards to a wide open receiver who's got nobody in coverage, and everyone's just being like, ooh, oh my God, look at that. That's so good. I was like, that is literally like, that's never going to happen in an NFL fucking football game. For the love of God, I'm all for an impressive throw. But if you're not wearing pads and you're in a controlled environment, it does not translate to the game. Cool, you can throw it far with no one in your face. It's awesome.
Pretty sure he was in a dome too.
He was, yeah, because it was the Dome of Mormontude. It was in BYU. But no, I don't see it with Zach Wilson. I wish that I did, because he seems like a good kid, minus the whole being into MILFs and stuff like that. But I mean, everyone's had that phase. So
excellent. Mike Thomas, going over to you. What are your thoughts? Zach Wilson, pumpkin or Cinderella?
Oh, he's definitely a pumpkin. He is the yang to Brock Purdy's yin. It is just the poster child for how NFL scouts and front offices and coaches and everybody in the media, we all suck at identifying talent, especially quarterback talent. So, that's another thing that drives me nuts when people are like, this isn't the quarterback of the future. We got to go draft somebody. If we have the opportunity to draft somebody in the first round, we got to go get them. How many first round quarterback draft picks have actually panned out? There's
Not a lot.
There's so many of the next generational talent. This guy's the best. We have to pick him and put him on our team. And then he comes in and he stinks. And Zach Wilson is that. And you know what? Zach Wilson is a serviceable quarterback. He's not even the worst in the NFL right now. Hello, Steelers quarterbacks. The issue is everybody's like, well, he sucks. And so everything he does that isn't amazing gets highlighted as, yep, that's the worst in the league. And I think the Jets just do that in general. I felt that way about Mark Sanchez. Like, is the butt fumble really the worst play in the NFL? I don't know if it is. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Anyway, I'm going to throw this back to Mike Spillane. He's going to get double firsties because we're talking Tommy Cutlets. Tommy DeVito. Is Tommy saving a locker room or is he sinking the future of the Giants? Give me your thoughts.
I think he's... Oh, that's a tough one because those are two things that I don't think are universally related. I think, if anything, he's exposed a fault in the idea of the quarterback that Daniel Jones is. He's showcased that Daniel Jones is not a quarterback that can take chances. He's not a quarterback that can keep plays alive. Obviously, his legs are known to do that at times, but he's also not known to always make the best decisions with his legs as well. I think that he's definitely brought new life into the locker room. And the reason why I won't say that he's destroyed the Giants' future or anything like that is because there's 4 games left for the Giants. Away at the Saints. I believe the Rams they have at home. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. And then they play the Eagles twice. So at most, you're going to get 2 wins there because Tommy Cutlets, the story's been awesome. I've loved it. It's been enjoyable to watch. It's the kind of thing that you could only get an AI version of Martin Scorsese to write. But with that being said, he's not beating the Eagles twice. This is not happening. There's no way. You said the yin and yang of Brock Purdy earlier is Brock Purdy to Zach Wilson. That's kind of what I feel like a lot of people look at Tommy DeVito as is, could he be Brock Purdy? I don't think he can. I think he's gotten into some really good situations. I do not think that he's got the cojones to be a Brock Purdy. I think he's just on a really good run, and those Eagles games are going to bring him down to earth.
All right. I like it. Mike Thomas, what do you got?
This ties into my last rant. We suck at evaluating quarterback talent. So you can't even say if he comes out there and wins these games that it's tanking the future of the franchise because you don't know. What I've experienced, what I've learned over the years as fans, when we are gifted moments like these, we just have to jump on and enjoy it for the moment. If that means you're going out there going, hey, and doing very stereotypical things where you're actually having fun, watching a couple of Giants games this winter, enjoy it, man. Go out, have fun. If you're rooting for Gardner Minshew, go on, grow the handlebar mustache, cut off jean shorts, drink beer, no t-shirt, watch the football games, have a good time. For goodness sakes, the Steelers, we were doing duck calls in the middle of a season a couple of years ago because that was literally the only enjoyment we could get from watching those games was when Duck Hodges was out there for us. Go Duck. Sometimes you just got to get joy wherever you can.
I like it. You are going to lead us off on our next topic. CJ Stroud should be the MVP of the NFL after what Houston did last week. Go.
False. false and false. Yeah, no, I don't think that's anywhere close to true. I think he is a good story. Rookie of the year, most likely. I'm having a hard time thinking of any other rookies that would really give him a run for his money, but I also haven't thought of it, so I could be missing something. But boy, Tyreek Hill is definitely, putting his stamp out there for the MVP of the league. I think it's going to be hard to. The AP is not going to have difficulty giving it to a quarterback, but I think the true MVP is going to be, Tyreek Hill or Christian McCaffrey from the 49ers, one of these other guys. I think this is a good year for a non-quarterback MVP to win the award. I just don't think the AP has the cojones to do that.
Mike Spillane, give me your thoughts.
So CJ Stroud is undoubtedly rookie of the year, 100%. He's probably top 10 in MVP voting. But yeah, he's not going to be the MVP. I think that there was a legitimate argument for him being like top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And that deserves him the credit that he should get. But if you wanted to use that like argument there, the argument last week is that Tyreek Hill is also the MVP because of how bad the Dolphins looked when Tyreek Hill came out of the game injured. Their offense just was sputtering. And then he came back in, got a big catch, and then basically went back off, did his thing. He's like, all right, I got you guys in position. Figure it the hell out. Like, and I think that Tyreek, I hate to be agreeing with Mike as much as I am during this because I know that you don't necessarily want us to agree, but you're giving us points
care.
anyways. So this should be a non-quarterback MVP year. It's not going to be. They're going to give it to Brock Purdy, but Tyreek Hill is the best. If he breaks 2,000 yards, especially, it should be his award this year.
Well, I'll stick with you because I don't want to hit the mute button again. The Miami Dolphins are a pretender.
I mean, two things can be true, right? We can talk about how good they are and how Tyreek Hill's an MVP, but like it was a play against the Titans where they made a stop and Bradley Chubb decided to rip his helmet off and throw it into the ground and then give them a new set of downs because of the fact that he got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for just being stupid and doing something like that. Those kind of discipline issues are never going to be present on a Super Bowl winning team. So stupid things like that are going to be what keeps them from getting there. As long as they're healthy, I think that they absolutely can compete with anyone. I just don't know that the mentality is there yet. They haven't had that like overall cataclysmic failure that brings them together to unite them as on the front of we need to go win this whole damn thing. The only thing that's that injury wise that comes to mind is I know they just lost their center to torn ACL. That sucks. That's going to be one of those things that's going to be hard because literally like first drive after that, Tua fumbled the snap. So I think that there's going to be some issues for them. And I just don't think that they can get the Super Bowl done. I don't.
Mike Thomas. The Dolphins are a pretender.
True. Before I dive into why, though, I did see that the Chargers were called for an offensive offside because their wide receiver was lined up with his foot past the football on a crucial fourth down play. So, suck it, Mahomes.
Easton Stick is going to fight someone?
What's that?
I said, so Easton Stick is going to fight someone?
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely swinging on the sideline. Yeah,
Makes
they're gonna rip into the refs for why they're trailing 35-0 to the Raiders. Anyway, are the Dolphins a pretender? Pat, you and I have had this conversation throughout the year. We really like Miami. We like watching them play. They're really fun. We want them to succeed, but they have not had that game this year where you can look at it and go, that's the statement. That is them putting their stamp on the NFL this season. They've done it against bad teams. They beat up the Broncos. Their stamp was on the Broncos when the Broncos couldn't do anything right. They have had opportunities to go on the road and do it against good teams like the Eagles, the Chiefs overseas, a couple of other good games, and they failed. Now, they've got 2 more, I would argue 3 more opportunities to do that this season. The last 3 weeks of the season, I think, are going to be very telling for the Dolphins and the playoff run. Home to the Cowboys on Christmas Eve, at Baltimore on New Year's Eve, and then home to Buffalo on January 7th to end the season. If they win 2 of those 3 games, then I will say, yep, dangerous team. Might be the best team in the AFC, depending on how that Ravens game goes. But if they lose 2 of those 3 games, or all 3 of those games, which I think is a real danger, then I think pretender status is confirmed.
Interesting. I like it. I am going to throw it back to Mike Spillane. This is the last one I have before we crown our champion and give you your 30 seconds of glory to gloat and get out whatever message you so choose. The Kansas City Chiefs will not win another Super Bowl until they reinvest in wide receiver.
Ooh, I think that they will win even more Super Bowls if they reinvest at wide receiver, but I think that Patrick Mahomes is a good enough talent that they can still win without reinvesting in wide receiver. Because the issue that they're going to have is they're in that area right now where they are too good of a team to draft a top quality first round wide receiver because they're drafting too late, because they're still going to be a 10-win team no matter what. Like, he could literally trip to 10 wins. Like, it doesn't, like, that's just how good of a quarterback Patrick Mahomes is. And free agency is one of those things that the only elite wide receiver that they've ever had is Travis Kelce under the Patrick Mahomes era. So are free agent wide receivers going to want to necessarily go there? I don't know that they are. He's really good at spreading the wealth. I do think that Rashee Rice is kind of showing that he could possibly be a dude. I think that just based on Mahomes, if he has guys that don't drop the ball, which they've struggled with that now, I know. They also have guys who don't know how to line up. We know. But I think that he still has the talent on his own that he can will this team to a Super Bowl without them reinvesting still.
All right. Mike Thomas, talk to me.
It's really, really hard to get to a Super Bowl. There's a little bit of luck involved. Only one team gets to end the season on a win. The issue for the Chiefs, yes, they need wide receiver help. That's not even a question. Their wide receiver is probably the weakest part of their squad, and it's not even close. The problem is Mahomes has entered into the time of his career where he has a pretty significant contract. And it's really hard for NFL teams to balance that. And I pulled up, the cap details of his current contract. 2020, 2021, his cap hit was under $10 million a year. It ballooned to $35 million last year. It's $37 million this year. It's $57 million next year. And it goes up to $60 million in 2025 and $63 million in 2026. Those are big numbers. Those are big numbers. And it's going to be really hard, I think, for the Chiefs or for any organization to swallow that on the quarterback side and field a really talented team around them to go and compete in the Super Bowl when you got all of these teams and young guns coming into the league and playing well. So I don't know if there's anything the Chiefs can do to really be a Super Bowl contender unless they start talking about restructuring some contracts here, or if the cap just super inflates and these numbers don't matter anymore.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for our Around the Horn segment. I'm going to tally up some scores here, figure out who our champion is. Gentlemen, feel free to vamp while I count to myself quietly.
I'm just really thankful that we're not watching the Thursday Night Football game tonight.
Yeah, as we're recording this, it is 30 seconds to halftime, and it is 42-0 Las Vegas Raiders over the Chargers. So
they had 21 points in the first quarter and another 21 in the second quarter.
Yep.
Good Lord. The Chargers are just a joke.
Yeah. If Brandon Staley has a job in the morning, like Brandon Staley might be fired by the time this gets released on YouTube.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, emergency podcast, the thing that everybody saw coming came.
It's just going to be emergency podcast, and then it's just going to say Nelson from The Simpsons laugh.
That was good.
Thank you.
Tacking on 2 bonus points for that.
That's a good 2 bonus points.
I'll take it.
It's a good 2 bonus points.
I lost by 1.
That is actually not what happened. Our inaugural winner of Around the Horn Going Forward edition goes to Mike Thomas.
Woo!
With a score of 61. Mike Spillane, 59, my guy.
That's a lot of points.
That is much more points than I expected.
Yeah, that's because I don't like to do negative points. If you guys talked about something I didn't care about, I gave you negative points. Or like if you mindlessly started talking about the Steelers and I was like, I don't care about that team.
How dare you, sir?
It was me bringing up Pat Shurmur and Joe Judge, wasn't it?
It wasn't.
Hold on a second. I want to know what the negatives were.
I don't remember. I didn't
me
take
bringing
notes.
up Pat Shurmur and Joe Judge.
The Ben McAdoo one was honestly the one that would hurt me more.
Who had more negative?
Mike did 9.
All right, fair.
9
Sorry.
negatives.
I like it.
Mike Thomas, 30 uninterrupted seconds. Talk about whatever you want.
Al Michaels is a legend, and I am not liking the discourse that is going on out there. Yes, it sounds like he got pulled from the NBC playoff broadcast. No, NBC doesn't know what the hell they're doing. I firmly believe, as much as Sunday Night Football is like the best football game of the week every single week, and their broadcast is top tier, it has taken a huge step back since Al Michaels left to go to Amazon. And I get we are in the twilight of Al Michaels' career and it's coming to an end, and it makes me sad. I get it's happening. Father Time is the ultimate champion. But I will not stand the slander of people saying he's not a good broadcaster. I see that too much online.
That was an excellent usage of your
really good usage.
Your time, your champion time. Respect. I feel good about that.
He's the GOAT.
I agree. He is. He really is. He's had some of the most memorable calls for anything in history.
Arguably the most iconic sports call in American sports history.
With the
I don't
miracle,
even think it's arguable.
Yeah, do you believe in miracles? Yep.
I think it's just the number one. That's the number one sports call ever. He is by far the best play-by-play guy for TV. And him and Chris Collinsworth were excellent together. And I will not take the slander online of people talking about how much Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels suck.
Well, I will continue to talk about how Chris Collinsworth is terrible.
I was going to say, I'll
Here's
give
a
Al
guy
Michaels
who doesn't understand football.
I will give Al Michaels all his flowers. You can't pay me to give Chris Collinsworth his. So
fuck you, Chris Collinsworth. And your son, because he looks and sounds like you, but I don't know anything else about him.
Nepotism's got to go.
Yeah, just get it out of there.
always
Get
a
it
problem.
out of there. Fuck him. I hate him. For no reason. I hate him. Gentlemen, that is time. I would like to congratulate both of you. That was excellent. It was super fun to just give you guys a prompt and see where you went with it. So I can anticipate we're going to hit some more Around the Horn stuff. If our 23 subscribers enjoyed that, let us know in the comments down below. I unfortunately do not have the technology to have the numbers on screen, so you can't just see me making tally marks, giving points.
You just got to etch it into your lens. Just
yeah. What could go wrong? What could go
And
wrong?
notches.
I only just bought this computer and finished paying it off. Why not? Let's just do it. This is the least excited I've been for most of the games this season. I feel like the schedule has gotten like meh.
It's a lull right now.
Pretty quick.
It's going to ramp up over the next 3 weeks, but this week is definitely a lull.
Feels
Yeah.
like the last 2 or 3 have been like, yeah, these games needed to happen, so we put them here. And I mean, and we're down so many starting quarterbacks. It's like the games that are supposed to matter don't matter, and like
It's been a really bad year for injuries, man. Like it's been like historically bad.
yeah, got to get that turf in MetLife. Got to get it out. apparently every single player is like, this thing fucking sucks, and we don't do anything about it.
Aren't they talking about there's going to be soccer matches played on some of these NFL fields, and they're like, well, we'll rip out the artificial turf, we'll put grass in for that, and then we will go back to the artificial turf for the NFL games.
100%.
That is just an FU to the Players Association. That's just, okay, you want grass fields? Well, we're going to keep more of the pie in our next contract negotiation.
Well, like, I mean, you could legitimately, there's Copa America, which is this summer. And then there's also going to be the World Cup in 2026. And I'm pretty sure Bank of America Stadium in North Carolina, and MetLife in New York was selected for both. And like pro soccer players at that level, they're not playing on turf. Like there's a few MLS teams that play on turf, and, you know, Charlotte is one of them. But like, we're talking about like the Lionel Messis and the Neymars of the world. Those guys will not play on turf. Like 0% chance. So like those stadiums, 100%, they're going to be fitted to play on grass. And it's just going to be one of those things. It shows how much that the NFLPA really kind of can give two shits.
Yeah, they should be bartering, bargaining, whatever, better on players' behalf, especially with all of this coming out now. And like, it's a travesty that they're going to literally put the thing they want in the stadium to do these World Cup games, multiple games a week, and then they're going to look at the players and be like, oh, well, we can't upkeep the grass. What happens if the Giants play on Sunday afternoon and then the Jets play Monday night? What are we supposed to do? And it's like, you're going to have two games on the same field within 24 hours of each other. What do you mean?
Yeah. That's just, to me, that shows that the owners know it's going to be a negotiation part of the upcoming CBA. So they're just like, let's keep these fields in so we can use them as a negotiation tool to keep as much money as possible. That's the only reason why they would go back to
They'll be
turf.
like, we'll give you grass, but you need to give us money. We need more money.
Do you remember AstroTurf, where it was just cement with a piece of carpet stapled on top?
Absolutely.
And players played on that all the time.
That's what it used to be at the old Meadowlands, and there was the one bump because that's where Jimmy Hoffa was buried.
One of the best bits Simpsons ever did.
Hey,
you know what? Mike's playing 2 more bonus points. You are now our first time inaugural winner.
Damn it.
Of Around the Horn.
So this is like fun, crazy family story. Because my grandfather was
Jimmy
a
Hoffa.
teamster and a very well-known teamster. There are photos of him and my grandmother in Vegas with Jimmy Hoffa and his wife.
Oh, wow.
On vacation together. Like, it's fucking insane.
Does he know where the body's buried? Tell us where it is.
I mean, he may have taken that with him to the grave. So.
But did he tell you before?
Just Grandpa, I know that I'm losing you, but blink twice if he got cement shoes.
Is he in the Hudson? Oh my God. Well, with all of that being said, do us a favor and support the channel the only way that you can, by giving us boatloads of money. Oh, you don't want to do that? Great.
Cash App.
Do us a favor and like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Like the video, comment below. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you liked Around the Horn. Let us know if you like this matchup or this makeup of the panel better. And we'll kick Craig off. It's not a big deal. I'm just kidding, probably. I don't know. If more people are going to watch because we have Mike and Mike. I could never actually kick Craig off. He would just show up to stuff. But let us know what you think, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. We greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys had fun. Again, do us a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all back here next time. And then